Hello, friends. Today we will learn about consequentialist theories of ethical theories, uh, which can be applied to the various case studies. So, we will understand what are those theories and how it can be applied to various uh, case studies. We will give some examples also to make it understand properly. Uh, See, before I start, I want to tell you this is also another very important theory which almost in all case studies needs to be applied. Whether you reject that option or approve that option depends on various other factors, but then this has to be mentioned, and not only in case studies but in theoretical questions also. While writing answers, this needs to be mentioned. Now, the main focus of this theory is uh, outcome. So this is basically outcome based theory. This promotes outcome based ethics, and this morality of an action is judged by result or consequences. So it doesn't focus much on the means, but it focuses on ends basically. So that ends and means, if you relate in that sense. So this is result based theory. This focuses on result or consequences, and it says that ethically right decision is one that produces the best overall outcome. So whichever option produces best overall outcome is right as per the consequentialist theory. So what is outcome? It is defined in terms of happiness, utility, or welfare, or such other terms. See, consequentialism is the broad theory, but the main theory of, or main sub theory, or main important theory of consequentialism is utilitarianism. So this we should know, because utilitarianism and consequentialism are both are same. In fact, utilitarianism is sub theory of consequentialism. So this is most prominent consequentialist theory. The founders of utilitarianism, Bentham and Mill. Now, Bentham, these two are very important philosophers in Western philosophy. They are important for political science also. They are important for sociology also, and they are definitely important for philosophy and ethics. So, what Bentham has focused on quantitative uh, uh, evaluation basically, and Mill has focused on qualitative. So, how to evaluate the greatest good of greatest number? Bentham says quantity you measure. Mill says no, quality you should measure. So anyway, we'll see how they describe that. So fundamental principle is morally right action is one that produces the greatest good for the greatest number. So this theory, this phrase you might have heard, and you will need to use so many times: greatest good of greatest number. So this is main utilitarian theory. Now, what are its key concepts? Let us understand that. Hedonic calculus. Now, this was given by Bentham basically. This is a method to calculate the total overall pleasure or pain basically. Hedonic calculus is, and what are the things, factors which are used for that? Factors which are used are intensity, duration, certainty, propinquity, fecundity, purity, extent, etc. So, these are the factors which are utilized for measuring the pleasure or pain, ultimate pleasure or pain, as per Bentham. Now, what Mill says, in fact, earlier we have seen here, Mill has emphasized qualitative aspect of pleasure and pain. So Mill says that there are certain kinds of pleasure which are higher and certain kinds of lower pleasure. For example, intellectual and moral pleasures are higher kinds of pleasure. For example, reading, learning, helping others are superior to physical pleasures, such like eating, comfort, etc. So Mill has given one statement also. It is better to be a human being dissatisfied than a pig satisfied. So Mill basically says that qualitative pleasures are more important than non-qualitative or inferior physical pleasures. Now, there are again two variants of this utilitarianism: act utilitarianism and rule utilitarianism. What say act utilitarianism says? Assess each individual action based on outcomes. That is, choosing to break a traffic rule to save, for example, choosing to break a traffic rule to save life. Sometimes you may know the various organs are also, carried or transported by just whole traffic is stopped. So basically, if by breaking the traffic rules, some life is saved, you need to break. So this is what act utilitarianism says, that assess each individual action based on outcome. Rule utilitarianism, what it says, follow rules that generally produce the greatest good of greatest number. For example, always respect traffic light because their general observance benefits society. So this is basically act and rule version of this utilitarianism. Now then, as I was telling in earlier video also regarding deontology, regarding this utilitarianism also, there are some negative points. We should remember that, and accordingly, while applying on case studies, we should know that where now we have to moderate this theory with some other theory. So what are its negative points? Now, first negative point is very important. It may neglect individual rights or minority interests, because once you say greatest good of greatest number, it means minority rights are neglected, individual rights are neglected. So this is one of the important criticisms. Now, second is there is a very, very big difficulty in quantifying the pleasure. Now, this again is a big issue, because how will you quantify basically, and how will you measure that? Even though so many other theory or criteria they have given, but it's very difficult, and that too practically in daily life, it's really, really very difficult. Now, this risks in justifying unethical means. I told earlier also, this theory focuses on ends only. A maximum outcome has to be there. So which means the means, even though inferior means are there or unethical means are there, you can follow that as per this theory. So this again important, which negative point as far as this is. Now let us take one example, one or two example, and we should understand how we will apply. For example, during a severe pandemic, a government hospital faces a shortage of ventilators. For example, it happens in COVID-19 also. We face the, all of us face this situation. So during a severe pandemic, a government hospital faces a severe shortage of ventilators. Now doctors must decide how to allocate them. So now what utilitarian approach says, allocate ventilators to younger or healthier patients who may have higher chances of recovery and more life years ahead, thus maximizing the overall societal benefit. So this is as per the utilitarian approach. Now, even though emotionally difficult, this decision is morally justified as per act utilitarianism for producing greatest good. So this is one example. But again, I will say, while answering, anyway, you need to mention the keywords and the philosopher's name. But please moderate this theory as per the because definitely there are negative points in this theory. It doesn't focuses on means, so sometimes unethical means may be there. It neglects individual and minority rights, etc. So you have to moderate this theory with other theories also, with other principles also, constitutional values and other ethical theories also, so that you arrive or you select the correct option in the case study. So this completes the consequentialism or utilitarianism theory, ethical theory, which we need to apply in GS4 ethics. In next videos, I will be coming up with other theories also. So thanks a lot for watching this video. With this, I close this video. Thank you.